Welcome back, and today we're talking about Attack on Titan Season 4 Episode 2. So like always, let's just jump into it. Episode 2 of Attack on Titan Season 4. I really like this episode. Even though there was no action, no fighting, or anything crazy like that, I do like the new characters that we are being introduced to, right? Reiner is still there. Zeke is still there. I definitely want to learn more about those characters. But when we got characters like Piek, Galliard, and heck, even Gabi, Falco, I forgot the other two's names. I don't think they're going to be as important as Falco and Gabi. I could be wrong. But I really do want to learn about their story and why they're so brainwashed, because at this point their level of brainwashing is ridiculous. Now, before we jump into the rest of this episode, let me remind you to like and subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out, and of course I greatly appreciate it. But we're here for Attack on Titan, so let's jump into it. And I also will be releasing a reaction video to this episode. Hopefully it doesn't get copyright strike before I even upload it, but we'll see when we get there. But this episode, again, I did love this episode. We got some very important stuff, right? I love the amount of time that we spent with Reiner and heck, even Zeke a little bit, right? Because he was talking to Colt, I believe. He's gonna be the next one to inherit the Beast Titan. And I have to say, when Zeke was talking to him about his secret and stuff like that, I was kind of thinking, does he know about his mother? We know Zeke's mother is a noble, right? She has that noble blood. I believe she's like half noble. And the Marleyans, they didn't know about this, right? Because when Grisha was thrown off the wall and all that stuff, right? Whenever all those Eldians got thrown off the wall, the owl, he actually stopped Grisha from speaking about this. So no, I don't think anybody knows that Zeke actually has some royal blood in him. So that might actually come into play later on. So maybe that's the secret that he was talking to Colt about, right? Now, he really does want to go back to paradise. We see that they sent, what, like 32 ships or something like that, and none of them have come back. None of them have come back, and that's probably because of Eren and Armin, right? They're using their Titan powers to stop all those ships, so that's awesome. The other big thing in this episode that I really wanted to know more about was the whole train scene, right? We see all the Eldians are celebrating. That's awesome. They definitely deserve it, because honestly, I feel like the Marleyans didn't do anything in that little skirmish that we saw in episode 1. I feel like it was all the Eldians, heck, all the Titans that they threw in there, that was messed up. I mean, it's that what the Eldians are going through is messed up. Like them being segregated, the level of brainwashing that they have, that, you know, they can't even say that the people in the island are people. They have to say they're devils or something like that. So I really feel bad for the Eldians on this side of the world. But now let's talk about the Reiner and Falco scene, right? Because we see Falco when he was talking about Gabi inheriting the armor Titan and how her lifespan is going to be shortened. She's only going to be able to live till she's 27. And Reiner snapped, saying that, you know, that's kind of like pretty much, you know, a traitor, right? Falco is a traitor, because that should be the greatest honor there is. And I'm over here thinking, there's two ways this can possibly go. Either Reiner is faking all of this, right? Because maybe people are listening to that whole conversation. I mean, if we look back at the scene before this, whenever he was talking to the kids and walking away, it zoomed out to a mysterious character. We don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna know who that is later on. But, you know, maybe he's the spy that's kind of spying on Reiner, and, you know, he wants to make sure that that person is not hearing anything, right? Because if he hears Falco talk about inheriting one of the 9 Titans as an insult or something like that, he might get sent to some labor camp. He might get killed. We don't know what could happen to Falco, right? So maybe Reiner was kind of making sure that nobody heard him, making sure to check him, saying that he's gonna report him. Or maybe Reiner is that brainwashed as well, where he actually believes he needs to report this insubordination, this traitor for just saying what he did. So hopefully, and this is my theory right now, is that Reiner is 100% just lying about this, right? Heck, when he was talking about the Eldians, like Eren, Sasha, and all that stuff at the dinner table, and he referred to them as people, we see his family freak out, like he said blasphemy, right? Like they were like, what are you saying? Those people, like, what do you mean by people? They're devils. That scene, I mean, just hits you hard with the level of brainwashing that Gabi has, and heck, even his whole family, all the Eldians in that in that camp that they have in there, the segregation camp. I mean, that's a whole other like ball game. We can have topics about this, and it's messed up. I definitely don't agree with this. They definitely need to stand up, and that's one of my biggest questions that I have. Why doesn't for example, right, all the Titans that they have in here, right, Zeke, Reiner, Galliard, Piek, am I missing one? I don't think so, but they have 4 or 5 Titans in this town. What's stopping them from transforming right now and just literally destroying everybody, killing all the top generals, like all the top like tier people that are responsible for all of this, and free the Eldians? Like, do they have some type of technology to stop them? Because we know their military power is not that great because they're relying on Titan powers, right? Their military technology is not as far as the other countries, because the other countries are dealing with Titans and they're not. So I honestly think they don't have a way to stop them. So the only thing keeping them in check is the level of brainwashing. So we'll see where that one goes. But I mean, overall, this episode was absolutely great. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the Tiber family. Of course, they have to be Eldians because they have the Warhammer Titan. I don't know if they're part of the Marleyan country and they're being oppressed just like the other Eldians. Maybe they have their own country. Maybe because they were talking about being in a mansion and they never send their Warhammer Titan into paradise to try to get the founding Titan back. So it looks like the Tiber family, they're kind of detached from the Marleyans, and they're not kind of going through what these warriors are going through, right? So maybe there's going to be an alliance. I definitely want to learn more about the Tiber family. Are they being suppressed or oppressed like the other Eldians are? Because if they're living in a mansion, I don't think they're having a hard life like the other Eldians. So I definitely want to know what makes them so special. Maybe since they have the Warhammer Titan, they have a power balance right there, right? Where the Marleyans can just go after them, because then the Warhammer might go berserk and start destroying everything, right? So I can't wait to find more about that. Overall, great episode. I love episodes like this where we kind of get a deeper dive into the characters. So I cannot wait for episode 3, because Reiner, that look that he had of saying that they're going back to that island, and I hope that Reiner is just playing all these people. I hope that he's working with Zeke on a plan to liberate all the Eldians here, because honestly, I think if all these Titans kind of switch over with the Paradise group with Eren, Armin, Mikasa, and all of them, I feel like they have a chance to take over Marley. I feel like they have a chance to come in and rescue all the Eldians. I could be wrong, but I really do hope Reiner redeems himself, because seeing his way of thinking right now, I really am liking Reiner as a character a lot more than I did in the previous seasons. But overall, great episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode. And like always, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.